Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today I was inspired to do a soft landscape, floral landscape, so I decided to do some dandelions. I love those, so why not? They can also be a little bit winter inspired, and I just glued my paper, a single sheet of paper on a board. This is just from a block of paper that I used up, and now I'm using it as a board for stretching my paper. And also I have placed a coaster underneath just to give it a slight tilt, slight angle. And I will be using today my watercolors from the Earth set. I've added water onto the entire paper to make it wet, and then on top I'm painting with earth green mixed in with a tiny bit of the black. And I've added that paint in the lower part and also did a couple of splatters, and now just mixing in some earth red and a tiny bit of the black also. I wanted to tone those colors down. I do want them to be very soft, so I've added a little bit of the black, and I guess you can do that by adding the opposite color on the color wheel, complementary color, so you will tone down a little bit of the color you're using. And also same thing, I'm splattering again that. Now that's somewhat orangey tone because I've added a little bit of the yellow also, adding a little bit of the green underneath because how it's drying, it's becoming too light and I don't want it to be transparent and not visible, so I've added a little bit of the green. Now I've picked up a little bit of the dark brown, but again very watered down, and I'm adding it with this very small tiny beautiful brush from Lebenzon. This is a great brush to do very small details and thin lines, so it doesn't hold a lot of water and it won't create huge, I guess, blooms on your paper. It just gives those beautiful lines, soft lines that are slightly bleeding into the paper and creating soft edges. First adding watered down brown, and then on top a little bit more saturated. Also the paper is starting to dry, so in some parts the color will be bleeding a little bit more and in some parts a little bit less, and will be staying quite sharp. The lines are going to be sharper, so just leave your paper to dry slightly. Make sure you're not using a brush that can hold a lot of water, because if you do that you will just create blooms. And I guess if that's what you like, that's also fine, but if that's not something you're trying to achieve, make sure you're using a smaller brush, detailed brush, so you can pick up less water with it and put less water onto your paper so it doesn't create blooms. Now I have left it to dry completely. You could have seen I did a couple of splatters also with the same colors I used previously. I left it to dry completely, and now on top I'm adding dandelions. And again using the same colors. This is dark brown, also some earth red mixed in with natural yellow and some earth green. Also using a little bit of the black, so I'm using all the colors in the set. Browns, oranges, greens, those are the colors you're gonna need for this painting. And I'm just tapping in with the tip of my brush onto the dandelion seeds, I guess those are, and just also splattering a bit. My splatters are gonna go all the way around, doesn't matter. It looks like maybe some dandelion seeds, I guess, pulled away, was separated from the flower and are flying around. Also adding a couple of grasses. And the paper is dry, so a couple of splatters again. You know I love splatters. So always adding those little bit, the splatters with yellow. and some with this red. Also, I wanted to add a bit more of the darker paint to the stem, to the root of the stem, and just adding a tiny bit of the black just to make a higher contrast between those dandelions that are in the foreground and visible and those that are in the background and blurred. And I guess with that, I'll be finishing off this painting. Quite simple and easy. You can also use this as a card. I know you love cards, so you can use this as a card, as a small painting to give to someone. Why not? Maybe just write in text in an upper corner, and well, it could be a beautiful quote painting. As I said, with that, we'll be finishing off. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was again quite simple and fun. And if you did, please hit the like button, share it, comment. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome, and I would really appreciate that a lot. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!